Und mit diesen fetzigen Tönen sind wir zurück hier am Krankenhaus. Und wir wollen mal hier reingehen und gucken, ob wir den reichen Schönling finden. Die Krankenschwester, der Endgegner aller, also die Empfangsdame, der Endgegner aller Adventure-Spieler. Baphomets Fluch 1
Smoking
beispielsweise.
allowed. Guess this place is a bit behind on healthcare regulations. A calendar from 1991. Guess they really liked that year.
Ja,
No thanks. I have better things to do.
guck mal hier. Kennt ihr die Stühle? Und den Boden? Guckt euch sonst noch mal die vorletzte Folge, glaube ich, an mit dem Traum. Da dürfte das noch mal drin sein.
Uncomfortable, hard plastic chairs. It's like they're intentionally trying to keep people out.
Gut, Pflanze?
Was expecting plastic, but this looks like a real plant.
Oh. Schwarzes Brett.
I can't read it from here.
Mhm. Wir dürfen bestimmt nicht durch, oder? Noch nicht zu den Akten. Ich
Rows
versuch's
and
mal.
columns of files. Probably easier to use the computer if I need to do some digging.
Mhm. Ich versuch's mal. Ja, und die Krankenakten und muss auch aufräumen und...
No point. I wouldn't even know what room to go to.
Ah, okay, wir dürfen tatsächlich rein. Shit. Ich dachte, ich habe mich dran vorbeigeschlichen. Okay, hallo.
Excuse me, nurse? Hey, nurse!
Yeah?
Ich kenne jemanden, der seinen Job hasst.
Somebody around here hates their job.
No shit. What do you want?
I'm here to see Charles Wade.
Never heard of him. Anything else?
Bullshit. I know he's here. Listen, it's okay. I'm a friend of the family.
No, you're not, and I said he's not here. Don't make me call security.
I need to get rid of her somehow.
Sie hört Musik. Ich kann darauf wetten, wenn ihre Musik nicht mehr läuft, dann wird sie das blöd finden.
A computer. They likely keep records of their patients on it.
Gehen wir nochmal raus. Können wir vielleicht Guba reinschicken? Das geht doch bestimmt. Guba!
Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi.
So, tell me about this acting career of yours.
What about it?
Natural bald killers?
It's a dystopian vision of the future where people are valued by the quality of their hair. The protagonist, Eddie Zephyr, turns bald in high school. One day, he has simply had enough of all the teasing and the bullying, and he completely snaps and heads out on a scalping spree in search of the perfect head of hair. Eddie makes his way to Mexico for an illegal hair transplant. However, he has an adverse reaction to the anesthesia and he dies on the operating table.
Wahnsinn. Spoiler-Alarm.
Oh, never mind.
Not the
I had a few more
fire away.
Okay.
All right.
Ah!
So, how good an actor are you?
The best. The very best.
You know, that nurse in there, she said she loved you in all those movies. And that she always wished you'd give her a live performance.
I knew it. She always gave me these strange looks. I thought it was contempt, but her face must just be cramping up from shyness.
Yeah, that's definitely it. She'd love to see you act, I'm sure.
I'm gonna have to oblige. Which movie do you think she'd like the best?
Natural bald killers would be the obvious choice.
Bald move.
Abige Entscheidung. Bold move. Er geht rein. Okay. Wir gehen hinterher.
Fernando, you've been such a good friend. I can't thank you enough for making me whole again. Turn this scalp into a breathtaking golden carpet, such as the world has never seen. Okay, Doctor, I'm counting down now. 10, 9, 8, 7, Sick. Thank you, thank you. You've been a great audience.
Hat nicht so gut geklappt, ne?
That wasn't really an electrifying performance. I'll have to intervene somehow.
Alles klar. Danke für den Tipp, den habe ich durchaus verstanden. Danke, liebes Adventure.
Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi.
Ich brauche solche Sachen.
What about
I'm not sure I want to know what Jacob's bladder is about.
Jacob's Bladder? The tragic story of Jacob Cobb, a schizophrenic man who forms an imaginary romantic relationship with his bladder. During long and joyful monologues on the can, he starts referring to his nether regions by the name of Jenny. Sadly, before Jacob has a chance to elope with his sweetheart, he gets committed to an asylum due to increasingly erratic behavior. After a big fight with his paramour, Jacob refuses to pee for a week and he dies from a ruptured bladder.
Alles klar. So.
Oh.
Not the culture.
Hey,
Sure.
definitely.
So, er geht jetzt mal rein und wir müssen mit unserem Elektroschocker da mal reinballen.
Oh, Jenny, everything is forgiven.
NZ 500 self.
Peas and carrots.
Good idea, but
I'm just so full of your love that I think I'm about to burst.
I'd prefer to electrocute.
Jenny!
I wish, but she'd just call security on me.
So good.
Good idea, but
Thank you,
it wouldn't
thank
match
you.
his
You've been a
symptoms.
great audience.
Ah. Okay, wir brauchen den richtigen Film.
That wasn't really a.
Ja, alles in Ordnung. Ich habe es verstanden. Ich wusste nicht, dass wir den richtigen Film hier raussuchen müssen.
Hey, doof.
Oh, hi! What about it?
Tell me about.
Lawrence Lambert, a real estate agent, suddenly turns mute overnight. For weeks, he tries to communicate with customers using a self-invented sign language, only to realize that true love needs no communication at all. He marries his housekeeper, who only knows 2 words in English, yes and clean. In the end, Lawrence dies of a heart attack in the arms of his lovely wife, Consuelo Lambert Vasquez. Based on a true story.
Das könnte ja sein, ne?
Give me the rundown.
A lighthearted comedy taking place during the surprise birthday party of a 34-year-old Sid McBacon. The story is told from 8 different perspectives to keep the audience guessing who the protagonist actually is. The movie ends with the biggest surprise of them all. Sid suddenly dies of an epileptic seizure.
Das könnte auch sein.
I guess it's more of a dark comedy.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
Wir
Not the culture.
Wir versuchen
Hey.
mal.
Sure.
How about.
Business.
Das versuchen wir mal. Und jetzt schocken wir ihn mal.
I can't believe you guys did all this for me. You know, what's that smell? Bacon? Oh, Bobby, my head hurts. I'm seizing.
Nurse! He's seizing!
Oh shit!
Man, I feel like a total jackass. I'll have to make it up to the poor guy later.
Hm. So, jetzt aber mal schnell an die Computer, an die Akten. Ah, natürlich. Die hat das bestimmt aufgeschrieben hier irgendwo.
Employee of the Month, Carlita Mendez. Ugh, what a joke. It's that obnoxious nurse.
Music habe ich probiert. Vielleicht 1991?
A calendar from 1990. Employee of the
Die Passwort vielleicht? Nee. Wir wissen natürlich auch nicht, ob C. Mendes jetzt stimmt.
Rows and columns of files. Employee of the Month, Carlita Mendez.
Stimmt denn der Name? Ja, guck mal, den habe ich schon mal gut erraten hier. Okay, das Passwort. Smoking. Passwort ist es nicht. Passwort mit T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vielleicht. Das könnte ihr Passwort sein. Sie guckt immer auf Stühle. Vielleicht Chair? Chairs? Plant vielleicht? Pflanze? Ich weiß nicht, ob es auf Deutsch jetzt hier ist. Kalender? Auch nicht. Table. Also ich muss eigentlich alles auf Deutsch eingehen. Es ist 1991. Die haben eigentlich noch
No
nicht so
thanks.
richtig.
Smoking allowed. Guess this place. Employee of the Month, Carlita Mendez. Ugh, what a joke. It's that of not.
Peter vielleicht nochmal. Das habe ich, glaube ich, aber eben schon probiert, ne? Können natürlich wieder ausmachen. Jetzt nicht unbedingt den Master Boot Record
It's
zerstören.
labeled boot.
Schauen wir doch mal.
Crap. Looks like I have to figure out the username some other way.
Den haben wir. Otorgador. Otorgador. Otor. Das soll ein R sein hier. Otorgador. Tatsache. Okay. Wie hieß der Typ nochmal?
Not now. Not now.
Warum können wir da nicht mal eben reingucken?
Grandpa in uniform with 2 other men. Something is handwritten on the back. Flight training.
Wie hieß er denn nochmal? Wie hieß er denn nochmal? Wade. Charles Wade.
Gotcha.
So, überwiesener Dr. Friedmann. Bei dem Patienten wurde erfolgreich ein invasiver Eingriff am offenen Herzen durchgeführt. Er wurde auf eigene Bitte hin in diese Einrichtung verlegt. Die erste Prognose ist positiv und der Patient sollte erwartungsgemäß in 6 bis 8 Wochen vollständig genesen sein. Entschuldigung, es ist 12:30. nachts, abends, wie auch immer. Ich bin ein bisschen müde. Aber ich wollte unbedingt noch weitermachen. Es hat mich echt gecatcht, dieses Game. 6b. Oh, oh. Guten Tag.
It's all right, Claude.
Understood, sir.
So, you managed to find me.
I did.
Well, let's get this over with then. How do you want your pictures? Shall I get some tubes to fill my face with? Will that suffice for your front page?
I'm no journalist. Well, not yet anyway.
Ah, she's but a cub. So, you're hoping for your big break. Surely this must be worth an internship at one of the big papers. Do you want me to call Thompson at the Times and get it over with? I still play golf with him every once in a while.
Nein.
That's not what this is about. It's personal.
Sounds serious. Perhaps I should ask Claude to produce his gun.
You know, Charles, the person most likely to be harmed by a gun tends to be its owner.
Very true. That's something the Japs who captured me learned the hard way.
Did my grandfather bail you out then too, or was that one of the few times where he didn't save your sorry ass?
Hold on there. Explain yourself.
You're willing to listen to something other than your own voice? I'm stunned. I'm Kathy Rain. Joseph was my grandfather.
Now I remember. You were at the funeral.
I was.
You were late.
I needed my morning smoke. Besides, it's not like Grandpa was going anywhere.
Oh, just look at her, Claude. She's absolutely fearless. That's Joseph's blood running through her veins.
She certainly has a smart mouth, sir.
I must say, you have me intrigued, Kathy. What can this old man help you with?
Tja, danke. Cool.
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in '81?
I wish I did, Kathy. You must know I did everything in my power to help. How do you think Mary Elizabeth could afford all that expensive treatment? MRIs, neurologists, say what you will about Joseph. But he was never rich.
Strange. Grandma never mentioned that to me.
She's just too proud. At first she refused. She was convinced that I had an agenda, that there were strings attached.
And were there?
Don't be silly. Despite all that had happened, I still loved Joseph dearly. I wanted to help. People from places like this have a deeply rooted mistrust in the rich, passed on for generations. In her eyes, I had become one of them.
So that's all you know about the whole affair?
Are you implying that there's more to know? I left the diagnosis to the professionals. Mrs. Rain accepted the health care, but asked me to stay out of everything else. So I did.
I see. What can you tell me about your friendship with Grandpa?
Joseph was the best friend I ever had. We grew up together, married our high school sweethearts together, went to war together. I can't even begin to count the number of times he's saved my life. I repaid the favor once or twice, but he came up ahead, no doubt.
So when did you two lose touch? I heard that something happened between you and him. What was it?
Ja, der Unfall da.
The truth is, Brian Rain happened. Sharon Evans happened.
My parents?
Yes. They ruined everything with their vile, destructive behavior.
Okay.
I couldn't have that around my daughter or my newborn grandson. Joseph was naive. He believed that anyone could be helped, that anyone could be reasoned with, given a chance. He was just too good, bless him. He should have been harder on Brian, more strict.
Okay,
It's hardly Grandpa's fault. He did everything he could to set my father straight.
Oh, I never claimed to doubt Joseph's commitment, but I'm not going to ignore his flaws either. Your grandfather often used his heart when he should have used his head.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Wollte ich auch kurz
I
sagen.
believe it is, objectively. But I shouldn't speak ill of the dead. Eventually, my company grew much too large for this little town, and we moved on. Not long after that, your grandfather ended up in that wheelchair. That marked the end of our friendship, for obvious reasons.
Okay.
Do you recognize the call sign Cocky?
Would be strange if I didn't, since I was the one who coined it. It belongs to a fellow named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward, really. The nickname is somewhat of a bad joke.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay, wir haben wieder einen Namen. Flups.
You bought a number of paintings by Lily Myers. Why?
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. Martha, my wife at the time, was enamored with the paintings.
Okay.
I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the paintings speculatively. When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet dream of certain connoisseurs. Shortly after procuring the art, I had it valued by an expert who determined that the value was 3 times the amount I bought it for. Today, I'm sure I would have made my money back tenfold or more if it wasn't for the art theft.
Ach,
What art theft?
There was a burglary at the mansion I used to own here in town. It was all over the local news at the time.
Well, shit.
Eloquently put.
okay, die wurden geklaut.
Can you tell me about the art theft?
Well, somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and got out. Fairly clumsy job. Lots of broken windows. The strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, and 2 paintings by Picasso, untouched. But every single painting by an unknown local artist, gone.
That can't be a coincidence.
Nee, genau.
Agreed. Somebody wanted those paintings badly.
I assume there was an investigation.
Yes, Sheriff Truman came by with his deputy a few hours later, but they didn't have much luck. They found a few hairs, which turned out to be from Ruffles, the family dog.
Some stunning police work right there.
Indeed. There was a single witness, though, who said he could make out multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime, but nothing more than that.
So, I take it the case was closed?
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff about the matter, if that's okay with you.
Certainly. I'll call ahead and instruct him to give you everything you need.
Ah, das ist ja nett.
That'd be great. Thanks, Charles.
Anytime. But I'm curious, what's your interest in the paintings?
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them, right before he had his injury.
Is that so? Strange.
Tell me about Jimmy Cochran. Is he still alive?
In a literal sense. He's been held in a mental institution for years.
Oh.
Let me guess. Since 81?
Either 82 or 83. I'm fairly certain it was early 83.
Do you remember the name of the institution?
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton, or similar.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital?
Yes, that's the one. You know the place, Kathy.
Ihre Mutter bestimmt, ne? Ja, komm.
I do. My mother is in there. Sharon Evans? I had her committed about a year ago.
I see. It must have taken a lot of courage to do that, Kathy. Mothers have a lot of power over us. More than most of us care to admit.
I guess so. Do you know why Jimmy ended up in there?
Some obsessive-compulsive syndrome. He became fixated with circles and started hurting himself, trying to scratch the circles out of his head.
Creepy. I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place out tomorrow. Too late to head back to the city now.
Ja, da fällt mir natürlich direkt dieses Bild ein mit den 3 Kreisen, ne?
What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
They seem like any other church to me. But then again, I'm not their usual clientele. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave early.
Okay.
What do you see in this picture, Charles?
Fireflies would be my best guess. They can grow terribly large around these parts.
I don't need to show him that. I don't need to show him that.
Braucht er nicht, okay.
Do you recognize this, Charles?
Of course. Your grandfather, me, Jimmy Cochran, taken shortly before we went to the war.
You guys look like you just won the lottery or something.
Indeed. We were mere children, with no concept of what we were getting into.
Do you know what this key opens?
You must be truly desperate if you ask random people a question like that.
Ja.
I don't need to show him that.
Okay.
Thanks, Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
Sehr schön. Ich denke, wir haben eine ganze Menge erfahren. Das mit den Bildern ist natürlich wild, ne?
Just some boring landscape paintings.
Was hat es damit auf sich? Was hat es damit auf sich? Und? Zwischensequenz? Nee. Alles sehr mysteriös. Was haben wir hier noch? Irgendwie was? Nee. Dann wollen wir mal zur nächsten Lokation. Ja, aber zu der Lokation, zur Kirche, da fahren wir erst in der nächsten Folge hin. Bis dahin, lasst es euch gut gehen und bis morgen. Ja, morgen, genau. Musste gerade auf die Uhr gucken, aber bis morgen. Tschüss.